Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here, and a happy Memorial Day long weekend. Hope everyone's having a good long weekend so far. It is May 26th, and this, of course, the weekend video will go over what happened last week in the markets. And of course, it was quite an eventful week with NVIDIA earnings. And more importantly, we'll take a look ahead and see what we got coming down the pike this week. We've got some inflation data that the Fed watches on Friday, so it should be another interesting week, although a shortened trading week. So let's get down to it. Okay, and so as always, let's start out by taking a look at what happened last week. It was a pretty volatile week. We had the NVIDIA earnings boost, the tech sector overall, a lot of the AI stocks benefited from the outlook that NVIDIA gave. On the other hand, the Fed meeting minutes indicated worry about a lack of progress on this tamping down of inflation that they're trying to do. And we had a higher than expected PMI data showing the economy is still strong, which continued to put the pressure on whether rate cuts were even going to happen in 2024. Odds on favorite now are September, but we'll see about that. I guess we've got PCE data coming up. This is the Fed's favored inflation indicator coming up this Friday. So that'll be an interesting read on how the fight on inflation is going. Anyway, the sectors that did the best, of course, on the week were the Qs, tech heavy sector, SPY, pretty much flat on the week, and the Dow lost, as well as the IWM, interest rate sort of sensitive stocks there. Technology communications, obviously the biggest gaining sectors on the week, and energy and real estate were the two sectors that were down the most on the week. 2-year treasury, of course, it was up quite a bit just because of that strong economic data. And 10-year was pretty much flat, just a little bit up on the week, so not much movement on the 10-year. The US dollar, with the rise in interest rates, obviously strengthened a bit. And Bitcoin, last I checked, was trading around 69,000, but that can change at any time given it's a 24/7 market, as everybody knows. So that was kind of the week. It was a mixed week overall for the indexes. Boeing was one of the ones that dragged the Dow down pretty bad. Some more bad news about their deliveries, or their cash flow, I should say. And so that was how we finished the week. Okay, so before we go on here, I always like to do a quick plug for my books that are available on Amazon. You can see them there: Profiting as an Active Trader, How to Swing Trade, my oldest book, and my latest book, How to Trade Options. And you'll notice I do talk a lot about options trades in the room here, or a video as well. So if you want to check those books out, they are available for sale. So let's get down and look at some charts here. Okay, so let's start out by taking a look at some of our indexes here and how they finished out the week. You can see the 2-year, we kind of popped back up again on that strengthening news that we had on the economic front, pushing the possibility of rate cuts back a little bit. 10-year, again, we've kind of pulled back here, but now we're sort of flattening out, still sort of holding this trend line that's going up. And but I kind of expect we are going to just chop along here on the 2-year, or at least on the 10-year. The transports are really struggling here. You can see here we had a big sell-off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Of course, Friday was a big sell-off day. Had a bit of an inside day on Friday, but you can see here we've come right back down. Thursday we came back down, really just touched these areas where there was prior support. So not surprising, and we'll be keeping an eye on the transports because obviously they are an indicator of economic activity. But you can see here we are testing these lows that we've tested before here, so be watching for a possible breakdown on those, indicating economy could be getting weaker. The Dow, again, daily chart, you can see we had a big breakdown on Thursday. Didn't really manage much of a rally back on Friday like we did with some of the other indexes, but you can see here where there we are retesting this sort of area of support on the Dow, and so keeping an eye on that to see if we do get a pullback and head lower now that we've gotten NVIDIA's earnings in the rearview mirror here. You can see here we've got an inside day on the Qs, but I would say this level that we put in on Thursday, that's a fairly important level. Low 451 on the QQQs, or close to 452. So I'd be watching this level. If we break down, we may actually be in a situation where we'll start to roll over if we can't hold that 452 level as a sort of an important level that was established on Thursday. You can see on we still are in an uptrend on a weekly basis, so still moving higher, still getting a bid with the AI related stocks and sector. SPY, same comment. I won't repeat the cues, but I think again this level at 520, call it 525. We need to hold above that Thursday low. Otherwise, this is an area here where we broke out from. This is your breakout. Now we've come back, retested it. Let's see if we move higher, if we actually break down back into this level, because you can see here, this is kind of what we did before. We had a big breakdown, inside day, tried to rally back, couldn't break above this high, and then rolled over. So I'd be watching for that kind of price action on the SPY as well. We'll see what happens to as the week goes on and we get to that PCE number. SPY again on a week, kind of a spinning top, indecision candle on the SPY. We've run quite a bit of, we've made up quite a bit of ground here. We've run quite a long way. So anyway, same comments on the IWM here. You can see this low that we put in on Thursday. I'd be watching that low and this high. If we can't retest this high and break out, we may end up rolling over. And bit of a correction. Not to say that it's going to be a big sell-off, but certainly a possibility for some churning now as we make our way through the summer. And the VIX, you can see here the VIX, we're really just, there's just almost no volatility, no fear in the marketplace. UUP, of course, the dollar, pretty interest rate sensitive and up a little bit on the week overall, just because of the way where interest rates went this week. But you can see here we're still sort of in this uptrend. We've tested this, we've back tested this trend line, and we'll see if it continues to move up here. It's going to depend on interest rates, obviously. And here's your current level on the Bitcoin, 68.9, roughly 68.8, and that seems to be where we're sticking right now. So that's where we were with the indexes this week. So definitely some levels to watch there. All right, so let's take a look at some current holds and how we did last week. Still holding some utilities. Again, utilities are benefiting from this idea AI is going to be acquiring a lot of power. On top of that, we get a nice yield. So I'm still in this utilities trade. Here's another one. If you were in our room trading on Thursday morning, I believe it was, or might have been Friday morning. Now I can't remember. Anyway, I think there was this stock called it was Friday, MRUS. Got into this one. There was some news on Thursday. They released some abstract on their cancer treatments that seem to be quite effective. And there's a big conference this week, so that's why they released the abstracts on Friday. And there was some very positive news, obviously, on this one, and got into this just over 55 and traded out of some of it at 60. So if you were in our room, I know some of our other traders in the room got this one as well. So we got over 60 on Friday and took a lot of it off, but still holding on to a little bit of it. Gold and silver, I've been in for a little while right now. So this GDX, just using that as a proxy here, but I'm invested in it with my Canadian accounts. So I'm just waiting for this to come up here. A bit of a pullback here. I have taken some off, but I think that we've pulled back to the area we broke out from. So I'll be watching this one with the rest of my position, and we'll see how that one goes. But really had a really nice run all the way up here. Again, still holding a bit, but it's going to depend what it does here, because I'd be looking for a bounce from that level on that pullback to where retesting the prior breakout. URA still holding some of that. This is a uranium trade. Uranium's having a big comeback, and still in that. Google, I'm still holding some Google. You can see that one's actually not too bad. This is taking a little bit of time to load here. Let's just see, and let's go to my big trade that I did with Ethereum. Oh, there's Google there. It's still holding. We're still holding on. Here you can see it's had a nice move up, and looks like 180 is the top right now. We are kind of pulling back here after this nice run up. I'm still expecting it to hold. Let's get back to this other trade I was looking at. I've been stalking this for weeks if you've been following my trades. It's Ethereum, and I was anticipating an announcement on getting a approval from the SEC to get this ETF in, and of course it did come through, and you can see the big pop. So I got in here, it got in back here because I thought it looked like it was kind of putting in a bit of a bottom, looking ready to break out, and of course we got a really nice breakout, and I have taken a lot of my Ethereum trade off, but this was an awesome trade that I got on that one, and I was doing that with an ETF. It's actually was a Canadian ETF, but I think you could have traded that with some US tools, financial tools as well. But again, it was stalking that for a couple weeks, decided to get in, and it was maybe a little bit of luck, but just got a really nice move on that trade. Very happy, obviously, with the way Ethereum turned out. NVIDIA, I'm still, as you know, I've been holding on to a little bit of NVIDIA. I kind of was expecting this breakout here. Some good numbers coming out on Wednesday night, and of course we got good numbers. Still holding on to it. I think it's going to be a long-term hold for me on that one. And last one, Boeing. I was looking at Boeing last week, actually. I was thinking it might be worth selling some 170 puts. Glad I didn't on that because it came out with some bad economic projections, and it had a big drop down here, back down to 175. I probably would have sold the 180s, but fortunately I didn't. Yeah, that's the kind of risk you take when you're selling premium. So would have been offside on that one if I had, but I'm still holding these 260 calls that I'm short way up here. They expire in August, and I'm still trying to get out of them for a rock bottom price, like under a dime, but no one's taken my bid yet. So anyway, that's how things looked for the current situation. Let's take a look at what we could be stalking here for potentials next week. Letting things load here. One of the stocks I'm looking at is Lulu. Now, the unfortunate thing about Lulu, and the downside of looking at Lulu for a long, is the consumer discretionary stocks have absolutely been taking a beating. And of course, Lulu's probably falls into that consumer discretionary category. And you can see here, but it does look like it's getting into an area where we might actually find a bottom. So I think it's possible to take a long, maybe get a bit of a gap fill back to 320. Or you could trade that, either play that long, or you could do an options trade and buy a in the money or close to the money calls, sell the call up here, and then maybe sell a put down here to help finance it. The downside of that, of course, is you would be taking a risk of owning Lulu if it dropped to, say, another 20 bucks to 280. So that's a possible trade for next week. But again, the problem, of course, the consumer discretionary stocks have really not been doing well. So I don't see a big bounce possible on Lulu. Silver's one. We've gotten a bit of a pullback here. I'm kind of liking this one. Would have been a good entry maybe Thursday, but if we can get back into that 2750 area, if we get a bit more of a pullback, a bit of a gap fill here, and then could be good for another run. Silver could be interesting. for a continuation move. So TLT, I'm just watching this one. This is a long-term bond, so this one will go up if yields drop, and it does look like it's still breaking out here. I drew this line last week. We are holding this above this trend line here, so as long as that's there, I'm looking. I've been short the 91 puts, so that's essentially a long trade. I got that on last week, and it's just a small size, and I'm just looking for that one to continue here and maybe add to that position. Disney's another one I'm still sort of stalking here. Again, it's a bit of a consumer discretionary stock, so maybe not the best sector to be in, but it does look like it's been really taken to the woodshed. And you can see here I've drawn in this $100 level. We're getting pretty close to it, and possibility for it to bounce here and maybe come back up a little bit, maybe get a gap fill at 105 or 106 and risk $1 or so to the downside. So those are some of the ones that I'm watching for next week. All right, so let's wrap things up. This is what things are looking like for this shortened trading week, starting out Tuesday, May 28th. Dow pretty close to area of support here. There's your indexes with all the support levels, and of course, economic events that are coming up this week. This is the big one, Friday price or PCE price index coming out before the market opens at 8:30. This, of course, is the favored Fed measure on inflation, so everybody will be watching that one on Friday morning, see what those numbers come out looking like. We do have a bit of interesting earnings this week, although it's a little bit light till we get to Thursday. Well, actually, Wednesday after the close, CRM will be kind of interesting. Then we get Thursday after the close, Costco, Dell, Marvell, some very interesting ones. Dell's been on a tear with the data center build out, and Costco, of course, will be following up after Walmart. And so we'll see how those numbers pan out. So that's it, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your holiday long weekend. And of course, we will be back in the room Tuesday morning, live on YouTube, 8 o'clock, Engineering the Markets, and then pre-market show, and of course, Trading the Open. And you can still join us on YouTube at the Open. We will be streaming that as well. So hopefully we will see you Tuesday morning. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care, and happy holidays. Bye for now.